I just want to say a little bit more about this reality thing, because this to me is the most significant thing of all the things going on. Like, you know, I can support whoever I support because, you know, off his record that, you know, he's really is doing a lot of good stuff for our country and for people, for jobs and stuff like that, and for redoing the judicial system and getting people out of prison who don't belong in prison, then to make it federally, drop federal regulations on marijuana. So, you know, all those guys can get out of prison. All the people who, you know, back in the 80s sold some weed and spent had to go to prison over it. I mean, it's a damn herb. It's an herb. It goes, they want to police everything. They want to police our air, water, wind, everything. They want to control it. You cannot grow this herb that comes from the ground. Just made me think about cocaine, like, or poppies. I don't know what all has to be done to that stuff, if things have to be, but marijuana, you don't have to do anything. You just grow it and dry it out like your other herbs, and then you put it in food, you smoke it and drink it and anything you want with it. Anyways, it's just odd that it's regulated. But he's made that. Another thing too is all these executive orders, if you look into those, all these different ones that he, there's all these ones, if this happens and this happens, we're confiscating all your belongings. You know how many things there are in this, if there's anything about any crimes that happen right now involved in this ceremonial dot circling, that anyone involved, all their belongings are confiscated. You know how many people became millionaires as politicians? There's a lot. A lot. I don't know how. Well, I mean, I know how, but yeah, not legally. Yeah, how you are a public servant and own 4 mansions. Yeah, but nothing weird to see here. Yeah, so all of these executive orders all are confiscating stuff. Yeah, and all that stuff, all these crimes against humanity, and all of this, it's gonna be in what is that, reparations or something. It's kind of be like reparations, because the money is going to go back into communities, back into people's lives, back into building businesses, back into creating society. So all of the money that was taken illegally and stuff is going to be going back to the people, and that's going to be a beautiful thing. And it's already in the process. Like, I love to watch Charlie Ward. There's a bunch of people that I like to watch, but I started seeing him right when he very first started talking. His first video that caught my eye was he said something about a new king. So I started following that along with him. And to me, coming at all of this from a spiritual perspective, this new way we're going as species, as humans, that it's not going to be, we're not going to need to have kings and queens and leaders, and we're going to go into a different, this is all changing right now. But so I was interested to see, because I was like, I don't think there's going to be kings and queens anymore. So I wanted to see, and it was interesting, you know, meeting. I didn't meet him in person, but just getting, you know, watching him talk and stuff. And what was the most interesting when that guy would talk was all the history and the information and the bloodlines and who cheated on who. And, you know, man, that bloodline, there's a lot of cheating going on. There's not, I don't know who actually has, well, supposedly somebody is the real bloodline person. But anyways, when I started watching it, that's when I started seeing him talking about the finance stuff. And the stuff he was talking about was going along with what my insights were that I was already having, and my insights or my instincts or whatever you want to call it. My guides or whoever. The stuff that I was getting, the information was the same what he was saying. So I became really drawn to the confirmation. You know, like I would be thinking and feeling something, and I would go on and see what he said, and I'd be like, yeah, he's saying exactly what I'm and another one I liked is Santa Surfing. She's super, super upbeat, just bubbly. She's one of those people, like Charlie, you can see him when he's talking, but Santa is more anonymous. And so you start getting images of what she looks like. And she's very bubbly. She's always just so happy and excited and mindful of how she comes across. But, you know, and she has, I don't know, there's a few people that seem to have some sort of connection or insider. And who knows how inside someone's insider is, you know, but who knows how much someone's insider needs to be. But there's different people out there that are getting the same information and from different sources. And so if you want to know stuff about the financial thing, Charlie Ward that's who you want to, but Santa Surfing, she's always giving us really good breakdowns and insights. And Pimpy, I've watched him, but they seem to be the ones who understand more of what's going on. So that's who I watch if I want to hear stuff about that. But yeah, I believe that we're going into a completely different way of life. And that's what all of this reality splitting has to do with, is moving into this other way of life. And it is, it's the evolution of human beings, because it has to do with realizing, for me, it was just, you know, like, how did I not notice that? And it's going to be a lot of light bulbs coming on here pretty quick. But there's going to be a lot of people who are going to feel super, super bad because it brought out the bully in them. There's been a lot of mean stuff that people have said to people. And, you know, that's something that people, it's a dark side of somebody that they're going to have to face. And all of these different things that are happening is all for an individual. It's one of the things is why it's so different, why we have these split realities and stuff. This is individual, what's happening and how it's going to affect you and what part of you is going to grow and what needs to grow from that and stuff. So everything that's going on has to do with triggers and the breaking down of systems and paradigms and all of that stuff, because the stuff has to break so we can rebuild. We're all going to be rebuilt. We have a completely different, the people who are aware of what's going on have a completely different idea. Nobody wants to rebuild the same. Nobody wants to, I mean, they come up with these phrases, and I think that these phrases are just to try and take the power away from the people still. But we are going to rebuild better. Only we're going to do it. We're not going to depend on someone else to do it. We're all learning right now that we've been giving up our power. We've been told so many things that were untrue. And they've been using us and enslaving us into a system that was manufactured so that they could get rich, and that we would be always struggling. People would be poor and starving. It is a system that they created on purpose. This isn't, and then it put the pressure on those of us who are barely scraping by, that we should be also saving the people on the streets, while others are hoarding all the money, jetting around the country and going on lavish trips, and some people aren't even able to eat. Yeah. So those systems that were always so broken are coming to the surface, and they're just erupting so we can all see how disgusting they all have been, and all of it. And it's going to erupt, and it's going to go out, and it's going to be a new world we're going to create. When people say that about the old earth and the new earth, I believe, is what we're about to create, what we are going to make. I mean, just think, if we love our planet and take care of our planet, and we take care of, like, just take our ownership seriously. I mean, how many people have pieces of property that they own, and they're just garbage dumps? I was like, how do you not have pride in what you own? Why don't you love what you own? I think that's going to be something that some people are going to have to go through. It's your own value of yourself that restricts you. If you think you have no value, then you're not going to pick to be around people that you value. You're not going to take care of yourself. You're not going to take care of your belongings. If you have no value, how could anything you care about have value? So that's going to be, I think that's going to be something that is going to be important for some people. We're going to have to go through that. I mean, there's going to be so many people going through so much different things. And I just hope that everybody can pull themselves up by the bootstraps, because going through stuff, it always seems like, when you're not going through it, it seems like it's not that hard. When you're going through it, it seems like it's unbearable. It's really not. I mean, it's painful to look at yourself and to accept yourself at all aspects that you can see of yourself, and to realize that you're not as perfect as you think you are, and that you have no place to judge others. You have no place to tell someone else how to live their life. You have no place to tell anybody how to do anything. Nobody does. That's what we're all going to have to face. We're all just equal. Doesn't matter who thinks who's smarter than the other. We're just all equal.